Welcome to the Life to the Fullest podcast, the EF3 Life platform. I'm your host, Dan Jason. We're here and it is the new year and we're moving along in 2024. Today, we are talking all about positivity. In the first couple of episodes of this year's cast, we discussed following the true North Star. And we also, last week, were delving deeply into the financial realm. In our personal journey, it is incredibly important, imperative for that matter, to be positive. And positivity and creating that type of energy and flow in our life will really transform everything that we do. The question is, how do we remain positive? Where do we find that inner peace? And what is going to keep us going even in the downtimes or when we face great adversity? So I want to take a little bit of time today with you and explore this, as well as the ways and methodology that I remain positive and cultivating really true and lasting friendships that can help us to stay the course in our life. Make sure you check out EF3life.com, as well as us on social media at EF3Life. So many great resources and motivational videos, encouraging messages, and just trying to journey with you through it all, because that is what this life is about, truly living it to the fullest. Now, we are truly in season number 5. It is incredible to be here with you and to share all of this because, it was a dream of mine many years ago to start this podcast and this show. And now it's listened to worldwide, and I can't thank our listeners enough. Why? We've had great guests that join us, creating inspirational content, having people share their path and what has helped them to succeed, the ways that the gurus, the financial experts, those in the fields of education, great fitness enthusiasts, as well as relationships, and all of these areas can truly help us to drive for greatness, to, really tap into our fullest potential. But the thing that I would really think has helped myself and so many other people from the feedback that I've gotten and those who have shared on the show and those who know about us is positivity. But positivity doesn't just come, because we know that we live in a world and in a time and a space that unfortunately breeds negativity. It tries to suck the life and the energy out of you, that tries to rob you of joy. You think about the day in and day out basis of your own life, it is so far easier to attach ourselves to the things that are negative, the things that are creating doubt or mistrust or creating pain points in our life. Those things are not going to be able to be erased. It's not about living in a forever utopia. That type of society and that type of world doesn't even exist. As we know, there are no perfect families. And if you're somebody who has one, please tell me about your recipe for success. Because let me tell you, there is no way that we're going to face perfection or achieve it in our life. Yes, we could strive for it. We're always trying to become better. We're always working towards greatness and creating systems and winning environments in our life. But how we do that is really our attitude, the way that we approach things and the way that we react. See, throughout the course, there's going to be so many things that, yes, we cannot control. And a lot of that has to do with the people who are around us. We can choose to be around some, and others, they're in our environment. They're in our workplaces, right? They might even live in the four walls of our home. However, the way that we approach every single day and how we're intentional, the way that we show up to play with a clear and really specific mindset. And it's all about practice. When I was a kid growing up and we were going out there into the backyard and my dad was throwing pitches to me, or I was swinging the bat and trying to take cuts, and I was missing and missing and missing. And then there had to be these adjustments. You had to keep going time and time again, and that repetition to really activate what is called the reticular activating system, something that clicks in your mind and becomes automatized, because it is not automatic. It is not something that just comes to us by nature. Human beings actually are far, wired for survival. So because of that, we oftentimes will latch onto and think about things that are negative, and we detach ourselves from the positive. This is why when you have a memory, when you have something that has happened in your life, maybe something that was detrimental, hard, heartbreaking, that really pulled you apart or broke you to pieces, and could be something that was traumatic, it really sets a printing in our mind, and it's hard to erase that, right? It's like a computer virus. If things get into our mind that are negative, it's hard to delete that and to reroute or reboot the system. But my thinking is that in 2024, we have to do just that. We have to cleanse ourselves. We have to reboot our system. We have to launch anew, because it is a new year. There is a new you, and it's out there for the taking, but it isn't going to be handed to you. So you have to be mindful of how you do it. So some systematic and ways that I have created and developed in my own personal journey is setting the table. As a kid growing up, thinking about one of my chores, it was my opportunity every single day to really show up and show out when it became dinner time. And I had to put out that silverware and, set the napkins and make sure the plates were just right and the cups and everything else was there, so that way dinner could be served. Well, in our own life, I'm thinking about setting the table for a day. What are we doing to set ourselves up for success? You don't just jump out of bed, hop in your car, and go to work. You have to prepare. A lot of times people aren't doing enough to prepare for the day, to make sure that they're in the right frame of mind, that their body is, ready for the action, that they're not going to react in a negative way, that they can calm the storms before they even are thrown into the fire. So what I decided that I have done, and I invite you to really just think about in the first few weeks of 2024, is how are you setting the table? How are you breathing positive energy? How are you bringing that positivity in the way that you think, in the way that you walk, in the way that you talk, and how you're reacting and interacting with other people, and how you're looking at life, and the way that you're approaching the day to day. And that comes from the time that you wake up. If you're hitting the snooze button, right? And you're deciding, no, I'm not going to get out of bed because I don't want to. That's an automatic first thing that you could switch, that I truly believe will help to reroute your life. When you get up out of bed, are you saying a prayer of gratitude? Are you thanking God for giving you the breath of life another day? And are you, making your bed? That's a first win of the day. It's a daily habit, but it's something that's positive. And then when you have your own routines to get ready for work, was something that I know that will create instant energy. It might not at the very get-go, you might not want to do this, but let me tell you, if you get into the habit of doing it, you will feel increased happiness in your life, as if you get yourself moving, whether that means going outside for a walk, whether that means go for a bike ride, getting into the gym, going to a fitness class. You're exercising, your endorphins start to race. They start to become activated. And what happens is you create energy and flow in your life. You're feeling good. Why? Because it's flooding your central nervous system with truly this feel-good energy. And it's a scientific component, right? There's research studies out there that show that people who exercise, who move themselves, are happier, who actually are able to increase their level of energy throughout the day and are ready and able to get going and get after it. So you do that, right? And maybe even you set aside a few minutes, right, to share in the positivity by writing in a journal, by doing something to really be intentional about what yesterday still sticks with you today that was happening in your favor. What is one thing that you're looking forward to in this day to come? What is one thing that you're going to accomplish today? If you write those three things down, one thing that you're grateful for, one thing that you're looking to accomplish, and one thing that you're looking forward to, let me tell you, you're going to have a different mindset and a framework when you leave your house and you go out there into the world, because there is so much that's out there that you don't know what you're going to run into, but you've already laid a firm foundation of peace, of tranquility, of positivity in your day. So that way, when that first negative thing comes your way, you can hit the delete button, just like rebooting the computer. You can have that firewall that's up, and you're not just going to fold up like a cheap card table, but instead you are ready for the action. And when you walk into the office, you're saying hi to people, you're smiling. See, something that has to be said, and people will say, well, that's cliche. No, it's not. If you're smiling, if you're thinking positively, when you say a nice thing to somebody else, if you compliment the people that you're working with genuinely, what happens is you're also rewiring your brain in that regard. And you're creating some positive movement in relationships and spaces in your life, whether that be in your workforce or that be in the confines of your home. See, these types of daily habits are going to set a precedent that are going to help pave a path of positivity, because we know that negative Nancy's coming down the corridor. We know that pessimistic Pam is over there, or somebody else in your office space is going to say no, and they're going to try to deter you, or they're going to try to rob you of your joy. No, don't give your power away. And when people try to steal that joy that you have from you, don't feed into it. Instead, separate yourself from that and do it differently. Every day we have opportunities to give, to provide, to do something of service to other people. If you're having a difficult time in your life right now, maybe it's a season, maybe you're feeling like, man, it is winter, okay? Literally, but figuratively in my life, there are hardships. It feels like a desert out here, and there's not much positive momentum that's coming my way. I've had to, overcome various setbacks, and it feels like the odds continue to be stacked against me. What can I do to create positive energy and momentum? And I would say do one act of service daily. And if that's too much for you, maybe you could think and start by trying to do it one time per week. When you go out there and you serve other people, when you put somebody else before yourself, what happens is it creates positivity. Why? Because you're helping someone else. Why? Because you're bringing light to someone else in a dark place. Why? Because you're being able to give, and in giving we receive. That is part of what it means to be a human being. It is putting other people first. And when you're in service of other people, maybe you're saying a prayer for somebody else. Maybe you're saying a kind word to somebody. Or maybe you're helping someone when they least expected it. You're going to feel good because you are doing something that is good for another. You are doing something that is positive. And positivity begets positivity. And energy and karma will come back to you, and it will flow through you. So you are unable to have peace in your life if you are peaceful with yourself. And stop beating yourself up. Yes, there is importance in learning from our mistakes. Certainly, we have to do better, and we don't want to make the same mistakes time and time again. However, if we're beating ourselves up, if we're negative in our mind, if we're not having self-love, how can we go out there and love other people? How can we receive love when it comes our way? We're just going to be thinking, oh, this person has a hidden agenda, or that person is just trying, to one-up me. No, actually, sometimes there's genuine people in our lives who are trying to show us. Well, we can receive it if we believe it. But in order to do that, we have to put ourselves in the right frame of mind, in the right temperament. We have to be even keeled and actually being able to weather those storms. And when we're receiving joy, maybe it's sometimes that we see joy in someone else. Maybe that person in our office space got the promotion. Maybe our friend was able to do something great and achieve something that we haven't done yet. Be happy for them. Congratulate them. Help them out when they need it, and applaud them when they receive accolades. Why? Because that's the right thing to do. And if you do that, let me tell you, people will see the genuineness in yourself. The authentic relationships will last. It won't just be, oh, who can use me or use this, or who's going to step over me to get to this next level. No, instead, you'll foster relationships that are lasting. And when you're with people, you will be actually able to be intentional about how you're using your time, and you'll be attracted, and people will be attracted to you because of your positivity. Think about this for one moment. The person that you go into the room with, and the people that you show up, when there's a party, who are you attracted most to? Who's the person that you're excited most to see? How does the room change when so-and-so enters the building? Is it energy? Can you feel it? Can you feel something different? If you do, that's somebody that you want to pay attention to, that you want to emulate, that you want to kind of grow in wisdom from. You want to observe. And what are the attributes that person has? Okay. Are they smiling more? See, nobody cares or wants to hear about excuses. Nobody wants to hear the negativity, the complaining. All right. The list goes on. This happens every day. And if you want to be different, then you stop and you cut the cord on that negative nature. So when you catch yourself complaining, you say, nope, I'm not going to do that. And maybe then at that point, I'm going to do something positive for somebody else to reroute this part of my day or this part of my life. These are attributes. These are key winning formulas. This is something that will help to set yourself apart and to help you to truly breed more positivity and energy in your life. So many people tell me, hey, Dan, I am drained. I am not motivated. And I'm feeling down. I'm feeling like, wow, what do I have to look forward to? Well, create something to look forward to. Do something and, work hard at it so that way you can go on that next vacation. You can decide to be intentional and save up to, make that new purchase. But what's far greater than all those material things or those things that, might come and go is how you're living on a daily basis, because every day is a gift. If we looked at that, I had a friend once tell me, when I wake up in the morning, it is Christmas every single day. And I thought to myself, wow, that is so remarkable. That is actually miraculous. But are we viewing our life that way? Are we looking at our life as a box that we're unwrapping with the greatest joy, like that kid on Christmas morning that's going down to the tree and seeing what gifts that Santa Claus brought them? Are we looking at, wow, this person who came into my life, even if it was for a season, is a gift to me? Are we looking at, wow, this person that did something nice for me today, wow, that was a true gift? Are we being that gift for other people? Because gifts, yes, talents that we have, all these positive things that we look at our life, there's a lot more going for us than what we might think. But you have to believe it to receive it. You have to understand that if you want something to happen in your life, yes, you have to go out there for the taking and for the making, but you also have to have eyes open enough to see it. And the negativity clogs us of that. The people who are the ones that are like leeches, who are sucking onto us, who are trying to drain us of that, we got to cut the cord with them. And many people say we can't do it abruptly. I say, no, the heck with that. Yes, you do. And if they have a problem with that, well, guess what? Then text them a little bit more slowly. Respond and wait a couple days. Maybe don't respond. And then they'll get the point. And, I truly believe there are people that need our help, yes. But if they're not willing to receive your help, if all they're doing is creating negativity and poor energy, if they're taking your time away from you and not giving anything to you, if it's not a two-way street, you don't need them, okay? They're not doing anything for you and for your journey to become better. And even if you try, you're not going to be able to help those kind of people. Instead, you got to let it go. Let it go. And instead, look for those people that, when you're around them, man, you're feeling inspired. You're feeling lifted up. You're feeling like, man, I could do anything. You're enthusiastic. They're celebrating you. And they want to see you be successful. They want to inspire you and encourage you and motivate you to be the best that you could possibly be. If you have even one or two of those types of friends, that's all you need. Okay, but even if you don't have any of that at all, you have it inside of you. There's a fire burning inside of you brightly today. For some of us, it's a little tiny ember. It's barely a flame. There's this little glow. But spark that light. Be the light for other people. See the light. Where are you getting this from, right? So setting the table in the morning is super important. How you're doing your day and the way that you're looking at the world and, the way that you do things differently, and that's the reason why I truly like prayer, is because I might be having a hard time in my day, or I might be having something come my way, or some unhappy person, or somebody trying to, rob me of my joy, or maybe a negative thought comes to my mind. But I can ask God to keep me positive, keep me on the right path, to help me during those times, and thank Him for doing so. And believe in Him that He's going to lead you to the light, because He is the way, the truth, and the life, and He wants you to have that joy because He can. So our joy might be complete. So here is what you can do on a daily basis, my few takeaways to help you to have more energy, to have more positivity, more enthusiasm, and to stay the course on the journey. The first and foremost thing is gratitude. Be more grateful for what you have. Say a prayer of gratitude. Thank God, thank other people for being a blessing to you. Count your blessings on a regular basis. You will have more happiness. You will increase joy and you will be more positive. Number 2 is pray. Thank God. Ask him, ask him for help during those times. Ask him for the patience. Ask him for the ability to withstand the storm, right? The tough things that are coming your way, and set in it and meditate on him and his word. And that peace that will come into your heart will help you to calm and quell all of those storms. And then the third thing is to seek out positive relationships and be an uplifting person and be around people who are uplifting you, who are creating that space, that flow, that not only makes you feel good, okay, but you understand that there is something really happening here. They are special. They see you for who you are, not just what you do. Okay, they appreciate you for being you. And they also challenge you to be better. Those things right there, 3 takeaways from today's podcast. My hope is that you do that in 2024. Your new year and your new you will be far better. And you'll have so much energy, so much positivity, and you'll be feeling so good. But most of all, you will be ready when you leave your space where you're living and you go out there into the world, and you will be able to withstand any storm. Positivity is something that comes from within. It's a choice. Every day you could choose to be happy. You could look at the glass half full or half empty. You could decide, I'm going to react to this or I'm not. I'm going to smile or I'm going to frown. I'm going to perseverate on this negative thought, this negative happening, and to look at the world in a bad light and to be ticked off at other people. Or instead, I'm going to let that go, okay? I'm going to let it go and I'm going to let God deal with it. But I'm going to look at the good things. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to count my blessings. I'm going to be grateful. And in doing so, I guarantee you, okay, your energy level will increase. You'll find motivation from within. And even on those days when you don't want to, you'll still get out of bed because you understand you have a lot of stuff going for you. You're too talented. You're too special. You're too unique to not use your gifts and your talents on a daily basis and to give it as a gift in service to the world. And that's the last part there. If you're feeling down and out, if you're feeling like, man, I need to create some momentum in my life, I encourage you to serve, to give to other people, to do random acts of kindness, right? To have the humility enough to show up in someone else's life, even when you don't want to, and do something nice for them. Because if you do that, you will create that positivity. That goodness will return to you. Because I believe that what you do unto others will come back onto you also. My hope is that today you felt the energy, you feel the love, and that you understand that we believe in you. This is the Life to the Fullest podcast. I'm your host, Dan Jason, for the EF3 Life platform. Make sure you visit ef3life.com. Check out my books, Winning with Money, Dollars and Cents, The Saint Next Door, and Fire Burning Within. Writing these resources has been a true blessing. Sharing this journey with you has been tremendous. My hope is that you will share this podcast with others so this show can grow. We want positivity to be your anthem in 2024. We want you to bring the enthusiasm. And as always, when people come to my house, I say, don't worry about bringing anything. Just bring the joy. God bless you. Be energetic. Keep being enthusiastic. And as always, keep living life to the fullest. God bless.